तुम क्या करोगे सुनकर मुझसे मेरी कहानी, बेलुत्फ जिंदगी के किस्से हैं फीके फीके. Which means, what good do it to you to listen to the story of my life? These lines were written by a legendary actress and poetess of Indian cinema. She was also known as the tragedy queen of silver screen. Once upon a time, I linked myself to her because I also went through a lot of tragedies in life. She died at the age of 39 with liver cirrhosis. I had nothing to do with alcohol, but I was convinced that by the time I turned 39, I'm going to leave this world. But miracles started happening just short of that. We all know and understand that all human beings, even animals, are born with a destiny. We have this Mr. Chitrabu. He has his office somewhere in the clouds, keeps account of everybody's karmas, and decides the destiny of people and the animals too. Often, slowly, but too late in life, we realize that all incidents which happen in our life, all the people who cross our way have a meaning, have a purpose. I got married at the age of 17. I was born in the Shekhawati region of Rajasthan. My father was a lawyer and mother was an educationist. Seemingly, I had a head start over most people in my society because of my liberal and educated parents. But in spite of that, I also knew, and the family also knew, just one certain way of life. When you grow up, you get young, a husband from a good family, income, children, their unconditional love, a life of general comforts, holidays, etc. Getting married at the age of 17 to an army captain, 11 years apart in age, we just couldn't understand each other. We didn't even speak the same language. The dream started shattering. We lived under one roof like complete strangers. Day in and day out, I was made to realize as if I was the most useless person on this earth. The silence in the house pinched my every nerve and started driving me crazy. But Otto was born when I was 20. My son came after 4 years. No family happiness. Midst of that, I lost my biggest support, my father. Being young, obviously, I was oblivious of the destiny's hand dragging me into the opposite direction and turning my world upside down. The struggle continued, but a time came when I felt that I couldn't continue with it any longer. I lost the desire to live. But suddenly, as if driven by the hands of destiny, I decided to go away from that zone and started meeting with people who would guide me into the world of love, experience, compassion, and things like that. I still didn't know what awaited ahead. I picked up my first job at the age of 38 with an organization which serves elderly population across the country. Now I would like to narrate those few experiences which were turning point of my life, and those people with whom I met, I interacted, became my heroes and teachers in life. We say, everybody says, that we don't meet people just by chance. They come our way for a certain purpose. I didn't believe in it so much before that beautiful winter forenoon, when I had to visit some villages in Shergarh Tehsil of Jodhpur district in Rajasthan. There lived Second World War widows with no help or very little help. I, along with the person from Jilla Sainik Kalyan Board, reached that village. And one particular thatched mud hut, which had a dusty courtyard and an open kitchen with few aluminium utensils. We waited for the lady of the house to come out. And when this 80-year-old woman came out, the winter sun showed her wheatish complexion, wrinkled face, but such beautiful smile on her face. I started asking her questions. I don't know whether it was the winter wind or the answer of that old lady to my questions, which sent chill down my spine. She told me her story. She was 24 years old with 3 children when her husband was killed in World War II. She raised the children. 2 sons went into the army. The daughter was married to another army man. The elder son died in the 71 war. The son-in-law and the younger son died in the elder son died in the 61 war with China, and the younger one, the son-in-law and the younger son, died in the war 71 with Pakistan. She was left with 3 young widows in the house and 5 grandchildren with no fathers. They had 3 bighas of ancestral land in the desert, but every second year is a drought situation there. The government was giving her monetary support, but it was way below subsistence. I asked her, why didn't she approach the government authorities or army authorities for more help? Her answer was, all the men of her family have laid their lives for the nation. So why beg for help and dishonor that great sacrifice? I was dumbfounded by the courage, the simplicity of this woman. I asked her a few more questions, but then I was lost. On my way back, I cried constantly, hysterically. Here I was, young, educated, beautiful, I'm talking about 20 years back, and gainfully employed, and yet in such low spirits. She became my ideal. These thoughts led to many more thoughts, and one emotion was I was ashamed. I was sorry for the feelings that I had till now with myself, and also awakening that if this woman, a courageous woman, can do so much with life, can cope with so much in life, what was wrong with me? This experience led me to leave the agony, the suffering, the hatred and other negative emotions, and led me to an ocean of love and acceptance. Whenever, ever in future after that, I had problems of that old lady, such courageous lady, and that powerful communication which I had with her changed my life completely. I worked with the cause of elderly for 9 years, and then I switched to the cause of children with disabilities. This further enlightened my attitude towards life, improved my attitude towards life, to see ability in disability, not only in the people who had obvious disabilities, but also in the people like you and me who look normal. While I stand here and talk about my teachers and heroes in life, I can't stop but talk about Nand Kishore. We called him Nandu. He came to us when he was 17 years old, mentally challenged. And for quite some time, he would always sit with his chin into his chest and not even look up, not even answer to any question. Slowly we realized that he had good stamina in his body. You put him into games and athletics. Cutting the long story short, Nandu qualified for district level, state level, and national level tournaments, and he represented the country in Special Olympics Athens in 2011. And he comes back with a gold medal, a silver medal, and a bronze medal. When he came back with his awards, he was brimming with confidence and joy and happiness, and changed young man forever. He could accomplish so much in spite of his disabilities. And there we are, the so-called able people. We have all the limitations in the world whenever challenges come. I can't stop but think of Lakshansh, 16-year-old, severely challenged with cerebral palsy. Once his classmates were performing during assembly time, and with his gestures, he pointed out that he wanted to be played certain piece of music. We did so, and then he asked us to put him on the floor from his wheelchair. We did. Lakshansh, on the floor, he rolled and he, with his different gestures, he enjoyed the music and he danced in his own beautiful way. He drooled, he made gurgling sounds in his throat, and he smiled ear to ear. It was difficult for me to see that scene. I wanted to go and hug him hard for teaching us, showing us how to sync with life in spite of all the odds. These experiences continued, and so the life with all kinds of different challenges and all. While dealing with disabilities, I realized that disabled are those who trample over other people's faiths. Disabled are those who are inept, who waste their inheritance. Disabled are the corrupt, disabled are the vile. We call them disabled who accomplish so much, who have such great examples to teach us how to deal with life. With my experiences with either it was with the elderly people or with the children with disabilities, it completely changed my outlook towards life. Became a very, very happy person. And I still feel that there is a danger that we are losing human-to-human relations. We are lost in our own circled worlds. The latest innovations, social media, internet, smartphones, we are closing ourselves into one circle. But the only way to improve your own quality of life, your emotional quality of life, is to reach out to another. Make other people your place of worship. Extend hand, and you get enriched by the experience which comes through reaching out to people and getting yourself involved with those people. There is enough love available in this world, but there is enough danger also for it to disappear. I can see that you all seem to be from the privileged class of society in our country. Let this TEDx talk not become another fashion statement you go back and discuss in your drawing rooms and be forgotten. Let's try and see that how we can reach out to people. I'm not here to root arms for the people, disadvantaged people in our society. But it's the only way. The only way to be happy, only way to be contented, only way to enrich your life is to reach out to another people's life. The danger which we can see is the technology has given us so much, but at the same time, it has made us aloof and selfish. I lived in my own selfish world once upon a time, but my life enriched because I opened up to the people who per se need you, but we need them. When your own life is in turmoil, there is a world of solace available outside. When your own blood relations betray you, there are people who will come your way and lift you up. When the own children are ungrateful, there are so many more outside who will give you the happiness and the fulfillment which you look for. With that, I would like to end and say that the world all around us is full of miseries, full of injustice, full of people with disadvantaged backgrounds. And we are very few percentage of people who have everything that we want in life. We're looking for great career, we're looking for great places in our life. But the only thing which we don't look for is the shadows, which we think are shadows. So let's get into the shadows and find people who will lift you up. We all are emotionally, if you honestly look at yourself, somewhere hollow inside. Somewhere we're looking for something. I have found people, I know people very well of people whom I've not really seen laughing by heart. I've seen people who have everything in the world, but something is missing. What is missing? The missing link is link with other human beings. So I close here and with the earnest request that if not many, let's reach out and improve at least one human life with our love, passion, compassion, and empathy.